All right, a good Friday to you. Thanks for finding us here on YouTube. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist John Dawson. This is our tropical update that we gear just towards the social media of YouTube, because we know that you want to spend a little bit more time diving into the details and discussing. I only have 2.5 or 3 minutes in a newscast to really talk about everything happening in the world, and now we can sort of dive in and just talk about the tropics and focus on that one specific thing. I know many of you are not in Southeast Texas. You're not even in the United States, and I'm especially thankful for you folks for finding us and connecting with us and seeing what's going on. And I'll tell you what, to begin with, it's a little bit unusual, but Tammy is back. That's right. What was Hurricane Tammy, what was Tropical Storm Tammy, and what was post-tropical cyclone Tammy has returned once again to a tropical storm. And we'll be talking more about Tammy and the craziness that Tammy wants to be involved with here in the Atlantic in a minute. But let's talk about the newest area that the National Hurricane Center has identified and wants to focus on just a little bit, and that's going to be in the far southwestern parts of the Caribbean. And there's a low pressure system that's down there, and it's going to take a little while. The next couple of days, we're not looking for much to happen, but once we get into day 3 and 4 and 5, that's when it looks like there's conditions that might be just enough, mainly those upper level winds cooperate just enough that we could see this current weak low broad area of low pressure. It most likely will start to make its form a little bit further to the north, up a little bit north, closer into Cuba. So I don't expect it to form further down into the south like that. But that's where it's currently located. And so somewhere it'll kind of meandering around and wander to the north a little bit. And most likely that's where we would see that formation if it were to occur. Right now we're just looking at a 30% chance that this would complete its formation and become a tropical cyclone. But that's what the Hurricane Center's watching right now. And I think it's something for sure worth noting at this point in time. We're to the end of October now and about to get into November, but sometimes the season, the wrath of what's happening out there doesn't really care what the calendar says, can kind of do its own thing whenever it wants. All right, I wish I would have looked up the specific date on when Tammy formed, because it seems like we've been talking about Tammy for a very long time. But I did get the map on here, and you can watch the historic line here. Where is it going to form at? Oh, it's way, way out here. There it is. That's where it formed, and then it trekked on towards the Leeward Islands. Definitely brought quite a bit of rain and some stormy weather. Kind of acted like it maybe wanted to go a little bit further over to the west, but then curved up to the north, and then kind of curved back around a little bit. Just before it got to Bermuda, it fell apart. Remember, it lost its tropical characteristics. And I'm sure the folks in Bermuda were very happy about that, and even where it is now, the folks in Bermuda not so disappointed with its current location. And let's talk about those current facts, those stats that we have right now on Tropical Storm Tammy. We've got 65-mile-an-hour winds are the current max winds that we see that are sustained. We've got that northwest movement, pretty slow. Look at it crawling along. And that's going to be with a pressure of 988. So remember, each of these icons that I have on our map here represents a 24-hour period. It's basically each day. So here we are on Friday, here we are on Saturday, here we are on Sunday. But so look at the difference on how far we're moving here between Friday and Saturday. And then we get to Saturday and man, we make a big jump over here to Sunday. We're going to speed things up here quite a bit. And then we're going to slam the brakes on, and you'll notice we changed that icon to that depression. It will barely hang on to any sort of tropical characteristics. And again, this is one of those situations when we get 3 to 5 days out, who knows if it's still going to be able to maintain that tropical characteristic. I'm going to show you one of our computer models here in just a second, and you're going to see that it kind of indicates that trying to stick it together, trying to hold into a low pressure system where it would be a cyclone, but it's going to be a little sketchy to tell you the truth. And so we see a gradual weakening as well. So currently those are 65-mile-an-hour winds. Tomorrow we're going to look at 60-mile-an-hour winds. We get down to 45-mile-an-hour winds, and then we definitely start falling apart once we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So Tammy is back. Can't get rid of Tammy. Going to hang around for a little bit longer, it looks like. Here's that computer model I was talking about. Just to the east of Bermuda. Those folks are happy about that. We're going to roll through things. You can see the winds pretty well defined. The rain that kind of goes with that. Having to search a little bit here. So now we get into Tuesday. Remember we were talking about Tuesday or so? It's about as far as we're going to be able to go. Well, watch our model here really struggles to hang on to anything at this point. There's just a little bit of some swirl perhaps left, so really begins to fall apart at that point. And again, maybe it'll make it there. It's kind of hard to tell at that point. I do want to take a little bit of a sidestep here and talk about more for the folks here that are in the Texas area, southeast Texas, or really any parts of the central U.S. Tropical type moisture is still going to be impacting you in the form of some rain. We've been talking about this for several days now, where Hurricane Norma from the Pacific came over and dropped a lot of rain on portions of the U.S. And then we had the remnants of Otis kind of do the same thing. And we still have a surge of Gulf moisture combining with that Pacific moisture and going to squeeze out some more rain over the next 5 days. That's going to sort of focus more or less on the state of Arkansas is where it looks like it wants to go ahead and center up on that sort of rain. Portions of Texas, Oklahoma as well getting in on it. So we'll see how that unfolds. Again, not necessarily a true tropical discussion, but I just kind of wanted to bring that up because it's somewhat tropical as far as the moisture goes. What would that area in the Southwest Caribbean be named should it become a named storm? Vince. Vince is the next name on the list, and we're getting down to the end of the list, right? We're not looking or would expect to see a lot more named storms at this point in time with the end of October, but we might get to Whitney before it's all over with. I wouldn't rule out having a named storm in November anyway, and Vince, in addition even to Vince. So Vince is next on the list, then we would do Whitney, and it has been a busy year. All right, as I mentioned earlier, I recognize that a lot of you folks are not from Houston, not from Texas, not from the United States, all over the world. Glad you're here. Glad you're watching. Appreciate you connecting. I'd like to kind of know a little bit more where you are from. So use Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram. I'm on the other platforms at John Dawson Fox 26, but Instagram is where I'm always on there multiple times a day. If you want to follow me, it'd be great. Give me a chance to kind of look into your life a little bit and see where you are and kind of realize, yeah, here's somebody from way far away that has followed me, and I can know that you're watching on YouTube. So that would be fantastic. As mentioned, every day of hurricane season, we're here doing this update. So over the weekend, we'll be back bringing you the latest on Tammy, what might become Vince, what might not become Vince, and anything else that tries to form. So have a great Friday, and we'll see you back here again on Saturday afternoon.